Well, the Cardinals, one of 4 teams still looking for a head coach, quickly put in the request for Anarumo and for Brian Callahan, the offensive coordinator of the Bengals, after the Bengals lost the game. Now that it's over, obviously both are free and clear to be interviewed and or hired by any of these teams looking for coaches. And we praise Lou Anarumo. Well, okay, fine. Let's see if one of these teams is going to bring him in. It reminds me of Mike Zimmer finally getting a job in Minnesota when he was the Bengals defensive coordinator under Marvin Lewis. There'd been talk. Is he going to get a chance? Is he going to get a chance? And he finally did. Hell, Anarumo hadn't gotten an interview.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that happens. I don't know. Look, I understand the stumping for Anarumo that we have, but I also understand if you are an owner, if you're a David Tepper type, and you clearly want somebody who is offensive minded, even though that there are defensive minded guys out there who do a really good job, and ostensibly you should be looking for the best leader of men on your football team. Sometimes that's not really what you want. And, if Eric Bieniemy can't really get an interview except for with the Colts, what are we doing with Lou Anarumo? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's a bad coach. I don't know what his plan would be for offense. I mean, what is his plan for getting Kyler Murray to be the best that he can be, even though he's going to be coming off this ACL, right? I mean, it's just one of those things where owners are going to do what they want to do, and they're going to hire the coaches that they want. And so if they don't want to hire Lou Anarumo, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that.
And I'm not saying he should be hired. I just think that there are people out there that deserve to be considered. I mean, why is Bieniemy only being considered by one team this year? And I know that there's only so much that can be done. The human capacity is limited to a certain number of people you can talk to, but it really is weird how these lists get put together. And there's this infatuation.
The Colts are talking to everybody. I don't know about that, Mike.
Well, you know why they're talking to everybody so Jim Irsay can shoot a video from the ladder into his plane with the engine running, talking about how after interviewing all of these candidates, it has only made me more convinced that Jeff Saturday is the right man for the job. I firmly believe that's why they're interviewing all these candidates. And I think that unless someone can take the keys away from Dad, who, maybe shouldn't be making these decisions, hey, that's the decision that's going to be made. He wants to show that he was right all along about Saturday, and all that Saturday needs is on-the-job experience, and he'll get better, and he'll eventually become a great coach. So, it's just the whole process fascinates me, and we don't have time to delve into it today. But you've got people who own these teams who don't know what they're doing, and that's what I love about this business. The oligarchs who amass the money, or inherit the money, or marry the money to own and operate these teams are in a position to make these big decisions, and they don't know what they're doing. And the hubris that goes along with having that much money and power prevents them from admitting to anyone, including themselves, that they don't know what they're doing. So it creates a recipe for all sorts of crazy shit. And that's why I love this game, because you've got these multi-billion-dollar operations that have analytics and all this high-level analysis and all of these different things that are done. And then you've basically got a bunch of monarchies that own the teams, and they're bumbling around not knowing what they're doing or who to hire or what to do or who to listen to, and you're afraid to even ask someone for advice because you don't want to expose to anyone that you need advice, because God forbid anyone would think I don't know what I'm doing, even though I don't know what I'm doing. I love that part of it, and I hate that part of it because it creates these situations where we're asking ourselves, how are these people getting interviewed? How are these people not getting interviewed? Why are we obsessed with coordinators who have never done it before? We've got plenty of former head coaches out there who have done it at a high level. Bill O'Brien, Jason Garrett, Mike Zimmer, Marvin Lewis, Jim Caldwell, guys who have proven they can be leaders of men. Not X's and O's guys. You need leaders of men. You hire X's and O's guys to work for the leaders of men. It's just the whole thing. The whole thing. And it's we could spend 2 hours on it. That's how fascinating it is.
Well, but that's what I mean when I say owners are going to do what they want, right? They're going to bring in whoever they have to bring in. They're going to interview people that they want to interview, and they're going to satisfy the Rooney Rule because they have to. But at the end of the day, they're going to end up hiring whoever the hell they want to hire, and that's their prerogative. So I don't. That's why it's kind of like when we start talking about, well, Lou Anarumo, why isn't he getting interviews? Like, I don't freaking know, man. Like the owners don't want to do it. It's the same reason why doesn't Eric Bieniemy have a job when he has helped Patrick Mahomes to the level that he has? Right? Why is Mike Kafka go and he's from the same kind of tree as Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and all that? And he goes to the Giants, and now he's being considered for head coaching jobs. And it's like, well, now he called plays. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, but he was the quarterbacks coach last year. Zach Taylor goes from being the Rams quarterbacks coach, where he wasn't calling a damn play, to the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, and he's great. But I mean, great. And I'm not trying to put Zach Taylor down when I say that at all. I mean, it's just owners have whatever criteria that they have to hire whoever they want to hire and look at whoever they want to look at. So Brian Callahan is also getting looks for his job. He ain't calling plays either. And so I don't know. It's very random. I can't decipher it. I'm not an owner. I'm not a billionaire. Nobody gives a crap what I think. So they're going to do what they want. That's why the conversation surrounding Lou Anarumo just confuses me for that reason. It's like we already know that billionaires are just going to do whatever the hell they want. So why are we kind of questioning, well, why don't they want to look at him? I don't know.
Well, and look, I've said time and again in recent years, especially if you have a franchise quarterback, you want an offensive head coach, because if your offense works well with that franchise quarterback, the offensive coordinator ends up becoming a head coach somewhere else. Then you got to find a new coordinator, and you set back whatever progress, whatever trajectory your quarterback is on. Now, on Friday, Peter King and I, to the chagrin of some who wanted us to be talking only about the looming conference championship game, spent roughly an hour unpacking all the issues related to the decision by David Tepper to hire Frank Reich instead of Steve Wilks, and how it becomes not just another issue as it relates to the NFL's ongoing race problem, which the league office has acknowledged, but the owners, I think their attitude is, well, we'll let one of the other owners be the one. I still want to hire who I want. I don't care. But now the other issue is whether or not Steve Wilks and Brian Flores are the victims of retaliation by owners who resent the fact that they have dared to take on Big Shield. And if you don't think that's an issue, you don't know a damn thing about how the NFL works. How dare you stand up to us? How dare you call us out? How dare you create problems for us? How dare you say anything other than football is family? So that is going to result in Wilks joining the Panthers to the ongoing litigation for retaliation for not hiring him in whole or in part because of his protected activities against the Cardinals. And I'm watching the Cardinals very carefully to see if they hire Flores, because nobody else has interviewed Flores, and all those other teams that have vacancies may be in the same boat as the Panthers are going to be in, not giving Flores consideration in whole or in part because he's a troublemaker. He's given us a hard time. He's daring to stand up to Big Shield. That's the other issue that is layered over this current search, Miles.
Well, the other thing is, why hasn't Steve Wilks received an interview somewhere? At least why haven't we heard it? Yeah. Especially now that we know that the Panthers aren't going to hire him.
Again, he's a troublemaker. Don't you sue us.
I know.
Don't you dare stand up for yourself, even if you're 100% right. Don't you dare do it. Don't hold us accountable. We are Big Shield. We are the great and powerful Shield. The great and powerful Shield has spoken.
Yeah, exactly. But look, Steve Wilks came into a situation where he was the defensive pass game coordinator, I think, for the first year, right there in Carolina. Okay, so he has to take over this team that was set up for Matt Rule. And then he goes 6-6 down the stretch and had them on the brink of an NFC South title. And yeah, albeit they were under 500 and whatnot. But he's dealing with Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold as your quarterbacks, to PJ Walker, changes the entire defense. Basically says, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna do it my way. And again, it's not a team set up for him, not the players he picked, and he still does, in my view, an incredible job. And that was this bar that he had to clear in order to even be considered for the job by David Tepper. That's like, Yeah, then the guy who got replaced by Jeff Saturday, who goes 1-7, has the biggest comeback in NFL history against him. Also gives up 33 points in the fourth quarter to the Dallas Cowboys. He sits there and he says to everybody, well, I didn't do this my way because, I just got here and these weren't my players. And this isn't the way that I would set up anything and as if Steve Wilkes wasn't dealing with the exact same thing. It bothers me, Mike. I mean, and it's, again, owners get to do what they want, and I understand that. And there's nothing I can do personally to change that, but it's not going to not bother me when you look at that situation and you see this. It's ridiculous.
They get to do what they want with a caveat. The caveat is their decisions must comply with the relevant laws of the country in which they are doing whatever they want. And I see these tweets all the time. Anytime I talk about this issue, it's America, it's freedom. People can hire whoever they want. No, they can't. There are requirements that there be fair processes. There are requirements that decisions be free of discrimination and or retaliation. And people need to understand this is separate from the racial discrimination issue that is embedded in the Flores lawsuit that Troy Vincent has legitimized with the comments he made after the lawsuit was filed a year ago tomorrow. Tomorrow's the anniversary. And we're still trying to figure out where the case is even going to be handled and processed. That shows you how long it takes to get to the bottom of these situations. This is now about retaliating against those who dare to stand up to us. And look, we need to take a break, and maybe it's smart that I do. Every time I say something like that is negative toward the league, the Shield, the people that run, I have this concern rattle around inside my brain. Who's going to call? How am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to spend 2 hours cleaning up this mess? The mere fact that I go through that exercise of wondering what I say, what that's going to do on the back end, that just shows you they're going to be pissed off when somebody sues them. If they get pissed off about the stuff I say here in this setting that causes them no financial expense whatsoever, they just don't like people saying those things, you damn right they're not going to be in a position to take kindly to those who would dare to sue them in court and expose and challenge years of discriminatory practices. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.